welcome to Cinco Dias de Cultura. This is a celebration that we're doing from Fresno County Public Library to celebrate culture and the people of Fresno during this week of Cinco de Mayo. So thank you so much for joining us today. My name is James Tyner. I'm a librarian with Fresno County Public Library, and I'm also Fresno's first poet laureate. So we're kicking off the celebrations today with some poetry. So every day this week we're going to do something different. We're going to have recipes. We're going to have a bilingual family story time. So check out this channel, check the website, check our Facebook page every day to see the latest event. So for today, for our kickoff, we're going to do one of my favorite things, which is poetry. So I wanted to bring you two local poets today. Two poets that are writing about culture, writing about what they face in this world, what they're going through. Two brilliant poets. Fresno has just a treasure, a wealth of poets, and I'm bringing you just two today, but two amazing poets. So this is what we're using to kick off our event. So thank you so much for joining me today. So the first poet we're going to talk about is Anthony Cody. Anthony Cody is a recent graduate of the MFA Creative Writing Program at Fresno State. He was a Canto Mundo Fellowship winner. He's been in several journals. He was in anthologies such as How Do I Begin, the Hmong American Writers Circle anthology. He has a brand new book out called Borderlands Apocrypha. It came out, I believe, just a couple weeks ago, or very recently. We should have links below so you can find that. Just a great local writer doing amazing things. So we're going to read one of his pieces today. And this one is titled Braceros and the Ice Car. And again, this is by Anthony Cody. Now, one thing, if you can, definitely click on the link below on this poem. You can read along as I read it, but I really want you to look at the shape of this. Look at what he's doing with his words and how he spaces things apart and puts it together, because that's very much part of the big story. So he has excellent way with his shape and the form of his poems. So definitely take a look at that as we read along. So again, this is Bracero and the Ice Car by Anthony Cody. Part 1. The circumference of a town is a proverb. 2. How distant the railroad tracks bisect the people and the possessor, from the center to create the corporeal. 3. That distance is braceros in the ice car, all day, stacking and loading and replenishing the cold, the ice, all day. 4. In the proximity is the burn of braceros, a slow freeze, into the ice car, into the summer, into this land and that. 4. Draw the circle. Ask braceros, do you have an alien registration number? Reduce the radius and redraw. Ask braceros, can you recite the Pledge of Allegiance? Reduce the radius and redraw. Ask braceros, where are you living at present? Reduce the radius and redraw. Ask braceros, who is the father of America? Reduce the radius and redraw. Ask braceros, are there children? Reduce the radius and redraw. Ask braceros, are you married? Reduce the radius and redraw. Ask braceros, where did you enter this country? Reduce the radius and redraw. Ask braceros, do you have family on the other side? Reduce the radius and redraw. Ask braceros, does sensation remain in your fingertips? Reduce the radius and redraw. Ask braceros, can you sign your full name inside this box? Reduce the radius and redraw. 6. To narrow a body, excise. Thank you so much. That was Anthony Cody. Definitely check out his work, check out his book. Just amazing poet, local poet. So next we're going to talk about another Fresno poet, the current poet laureate of Fresno, California. Someone I consider a friend, someone whose work I've enjoyed throughout the years. She is the author of the poetry book Tremors. Tremor, it's a full-length book of collection of poetry from 3 Mile Harbor Press. She's been in many journals. She just has done so much work for the community, special projects, writing. She is a professor of English at Fresno City. Marisol Baca. She's just done so much for the community. Such an amazing writer. And Fresno's current poet laureate, so just doing amazing things. So I'm so excited to be able to share this for you. This is a poem she picked out so that we could read this together. And the title of this poem is The Gutierrez Sisters in Grand Junction Boarding School, Colorado. So let's begin. And this is by Marisol Baca. And we should have links below so you can read the poem, follow along with us, and find out more information about her work. the Gutierrez sisters in Grand Junction Boarding School, Colorado. I would write the lyrics to a song their mama sang to them, but I have no song to write. It is lost. 100 ribbons smoothed and edged in lace, ribbons like the sound of songs she sings to them. My great-grandmother played the mandolin, tuning pegs in a dust storm with crooked fingers. Outside Grand Junction, Colorado. The other girls do not bother her during her practice. This is stolen time. Between writing inky letters home, classes on customs, and work for white farmers. Her dress was cotton linen, striped, black blouse, and a white scalloped collar. No embellishments. Because vanity was an extravagance, their hair had been cut away. When they weren't canning or sewing, their teacher's smiles were reflections against icy windows in winter. She would brace against the cold. A navy woolen sweater sags over her shoulders. And the girls, 3 sisters, would sit on bare cots, holding their hands against the warmth of a radiator. It was the oldest who had the duty of writing home. Dear mother, how are you? When will you come home? Manuelita plays her mandolin, Rosita sews, Teresita hides candy in her shoes. You see, in this place we have no stories of our own, Mama. We don't hold our people's songs. They are untied from us, unspooled and unraveled, not like ribbons at all, like thread. Teresita will never know her mother. She was so young when they went away. The other 2 remind her to be courteous, but Teresita was a decade old when she saw her mother again. She said, "You are not my mama. I never had one." They wrote to Mama to send something special. The season had blotted them out. Cold reminded them that they have bones. They know she can't travel the distance from Albuquerque to Grand Junction. They won't see her for years. They are good. Do what they're told. Except for letters, there is no connection. Mama yearns for the softness of the 3, Manuelita, Rosita, Teresita. In her dreams, it is what it was like when they hung on her apron. They hung from her arms, wrapped themselves around her ankles. These 3, first, cherished, sent away. Ribbons. In between the time she is working for her husband, feeding the men who come in and out of the fields and orchards, she collects yarn and ribbon. Green felted velvet ribbon, black satin, pink satin, red taffeta silk, brown velvet, lace and eggshell white. Roses hand-stitched on chocolate frosted ribbon, round pearl, oat pearl, ribbons with sequins and amethyst silk. A ribbon from every place she could find. Now she sees them everywhere. An unraveled mustard yellow. Tied to a fence post, 2 silvery loops are straps holding a dress, thick and silken in a basket at a thrift store, in rolls at the fabric shop, like dreams waiting to unravel lace with 1,000 eyes. Look across the desert to her girls, blue and peach, and some with stiffened wire, some she would touch, run her thumbnail over satin weave. A ribbon for their hair, to pin on a dress, to wrap around a wrist, to tie up, seam binding ribbon to connect one to another. Across the dusted road, ribbon the ice and snow, organdy ribbon collected from around the legs of chairs, grosgrain riding at the feet of mountains, waving like fingers from tree groves, wide dusty lace, entwined and thick creosote. In the outstretched llano, pico-edged, ribbons under the eaves of houses, satin ribbons tied to horses' ankles, feathery ribbons and bouquets, twill ribbons taking shape on frosted cakes. A box arrives at the school, a plain brown box from far away. Amidst the wind and chill from Manuelita, Teresita, Rosita, a dress from Mama Gutierrez. They lay their hands in the nest of it all. Ribbons smoothed and edged, ribbons like the sound of songs collected for them. Thank you so much for joining us in the celebration, Cinco Dias de Cultura. Check out the other events. I really hope you enjoyed the poets today. Check out the links, look at their books, look at their poems. Let us know down below if you enjoyed it or what else you'd like to see. But again, thank you so much for joining us. My name is James Tyner from Fresno County Public Library. Thank you.